Hello everybody and welcome to Attunement Tarot. My name is Robin and I will be reading for everybody, whoever watches the video. So we're doing 3 piles today, cleansing the space and the cards and the gems, okay? There you go, a little bit of incense for you there. So listen, we are going to be doing a pick a pile reading today. Pile number 1 with the Pulp Girls Tarot and the Carowite Heart. Purple Carowite Heart. Okay. That's pile number 1. Pile number 2 is the Enchanted Forest Tarot with the Tiger's Eye Heart. Okay. And then we have pile number 3 with the Stardust Wanderer Tarot with the Confetti Sunstone Heart. Ooh. Here we go. Wait, I really want you to see the little confettis in there. There, see? Confetti Sunstone. All right. So these are the piles that I have for you. We're going to be doing like a little bit shorter of a reading, okay? It's not going to be super long, but it is going to be whatever comes out, okay? So I'm just going to pick 3 cards and then build from there. And then when I feel like the tarot portion is done, then I'll go ahead and I will pick a little Spirit of the Animals card for you guys, okay? All right, so let me sit down and get this all squared away for, sorry, I'm shaking the table. Okay, here we go. So go on ahead, you could pause the video or just figure out what pile you want, and I will see you at your pile. And just be aware that since I'm recording this with my phone, I'm not able to, I don't know how to pause the video. It looks like there's an option there, but I don't feel like I want to try that. Okay. All right, so pile number 1, let's get started with your reading. Okay, I'd like to invite Spirit in at this time with so much gratitude and respectfully request a message for pile number 1. Message for their greatest and highest good. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, bottom of the deck energy, we have the King of Pentacles. Interesting energy. Yes. Okay, so pile number 1. Straight away, the message that I'm getting is, you know, a relationship with one's mom, perhaps, or with somebody who either you could be in the flow at this time with regard to everything that you're trying to manifest in your life in a very, you know, caring and nurturing way, right? Just like fully being in alignment with your authenticity and therefore drawing in what is meant for you, okay? There is an overall energy here. So with the Page of Swords, what comes to me straight away is that somebody wants to have a conversation with, or at least do the work around, any kind of unhealthy patterns that they have either inherited from the mom relationship, the maternal relationship, or they want to have a conversation with this maternal figure about some sort of dynamic. Now, this dynamic can be anything, okay? This can be, it's basically something that you feel bound to, that is very unhealthy for you, that can leave you feeling stuck. This can be addiction to, you know, a substance or a person or just some sort of dynamic. This could also be fear. Some fear holding you back. You know, maybe trying to tell you that you can't get what it is that you want, or that there isn't any, you know, if you're thinking about stepping into the flow and living in your authenticity, that's not allowed, that will never be accepted. And there's this part of you, like with the Page of Swords energy, that says, you know, I can do this, I can learn about this, I can speak this, I can initiate this, whatever it is, okay? The other aspect of this, yeah, it's like you want to have a conversation, like you're trying to take steps in the right direction, no matter how small the gestures, to address some sort of toxic or unhealthy dynamic in your life. And it could be just within you, things that you've learned along the way, or with a specific person, with a maternal figure. And make no mistake, if you don't have access to this maternal figure anymore, you very well could be just doing the work on your own to address these issues, okay? And how they show up and how they play out in your life. On an internal level and even on an external level, like, you know, some relationship dynamics that you learned, okay? Maybe there are some beliefs that you have about yourself that were instilled in you in your childhood, something that you learned in your childhood. This very well could have something to do with how you approach work, how you approach your tangible time and energy and investment, personal investment here. I get the sense that this is a message for somebody who is an adult but feels quite vulnerable in the face of addressing these issues, either with another person or with several people or within themselves. Okay. So Spirit, can you tell me more about the Page of Swords, please? Two of Cups. In relationship. In relationship. There is a conversation that you want to address. There's something that you want to initiate. Another aspect of this is that you could be, you or your person, but I'm tending to put it with you because this is your reading. You very well could be learning things about your person online. The Page of Swords is also like the looky-loo card, you know, and that includes cross-watching tarot readings. That's why I like the pick-a-pile ones, because you can't really target anybody else. But you pick the pile for you, right? Because it's your intuition of whatever message needs to come out for you. So here we are. So this is an issue. This is a relational dynamic. This is a relational dynamic that you're wanting to address within yourself or with another person, okay? Spirit, can you tell me more about the devil energy, please? Yeah, I get the sense that this is you wanting to begin the work or start the process to put an end, to transform how this unhealthy dynamic takes place in your life and how it shapes your relationships. You want to deeply transform this and transform it for the better and transform it permanently. This is something that you want to get rid of, that you want to shed. And I will caution that this is more about not like, oh, here this thing is, so let me get rid of it so then everything can be okay. This is about when we're doing shadow work, we're really working on the tough stuff inside of us, that how do we integrate our understanding? How do we transmute this energy and take this dynamic and all the crosses we have to bear with it and integrate it into a lesson for ourselves, and then continue to work it, right? Continue to work it, because, you know, the Empress energy here is also an invitation of, and with the page over here, this is also an invitation for you to reparent yourself. How do you nurture yourself through this work, through these conversations? How do you find you speak to yourself in times of facing troubles, in times of facing challenges? Okay? How do you want to nurture yourself through this? And make no mistake, the kind of work that I'm looking at right here is not some overnight thing. Like, this is deep, deep work. This is very deep work. Okay. Okay, Spirit, can you tell me more about the Empress energy, please? Yep, this is your invitation. This is you mothering yourself. This is you addressing your inner child wounds. Because when the High Priestess shows up, it's an invitation for you to plumb the depths of your psyche and your spirituality and your emotions. She holds the scroll in her hands, okay? But the scroll is different for everybody. It's not going to say the same thing for everyone. And she keeps things to herself, right? But she's not here to spoon feed you the answers. She's here as a guide for you to be the one to move forward and to discover what that scroll says for you. Okay, these are your life lessons. And it would appear that the pile number 1 group that I'm looking at today has really been coming to grips with themselves and how a certain particular dynamic that it exists in their life that they feel bound to, or maybe even compelled to perform or engage in, you know, like on a pretty not common, but, and not necessarily consistent, but on a level that's often enough to where it is having a very deep impact in your life. This is affecting your work. This is affecting your relationships. This is affecting you and how you feel about yourself. I get the sense you may give yourself a little bit of a hard time around feeling vulnerable. But, you know, when we begin to do inner child work on some level, it's not an avenue or a stage to abuse yourself all over again, you know, or to give yourself a hard time for even having these things that need to be addressed. You are realizing so strongly how this is impacting you and your happiness and your legacy and your future and what you want to build for your life. Your core sense of self. Okay, I'm gonna pull a few more cards here. Okay, Spirit, can you tell me more about the Two of Cups, please? The Five of Wands. Yeah, you could see, yeah, so this is how this kind of stuff plays out. There can be petty arguments. There can be, you know, battles upon which all people, you know, namely these two people, want similar things, but maybe have a different idea about how to go about doing it. Okay? There is conflict with the Five of Wands. And it doesn't have to be super duper intense and tough energy. I feel like even when we have conflict with our Five of Wands, you know, comrades or people, then there's still well regard there. Like, these people definitely do regard one another. They're not out to hurt each other, but they're definitely competing with one another on how to meet a particular goal. Another way to read that energy is that this is the struggle that you have within yourself, where you could think about there's many different ways for you to address these issues with yourself. You know? Like, how can you work this without going to therapy? Good luck. And the truth is like, you know, therapy is what therapy is for each individual, right? You can, you know, do any number of things, but at the end of the day, what it's about is about you taking the information and reparenting yourself around it, and transmuting the energy to where you continue to recognize when this kind of thing, whatever the devil is for you, whatever that is, whenever it rears its ugly head, how do you work with that energy? Do you mindfully tell yourself, here, this is the opportunity for me to do that same old habituated thing, but I'm going to take a few deep breaths and I'm going to step back, and I am going to engage in this, whatever it is, but I'm going to engage in it in a different way. I'm going to engage in it in a much more mindful way. Okay? That's just an example, but that's the work, because what the devil is about is compulsive energy, habituated energy, and it takes mindfulness and patience to stay present with ourselves, to notice when that compulsion is on the rise, because it can come in out of nowhere and it can be very fast moving, just as well as our reactions to whatever it is, right? The triggers and all of that stuff. And another way to work it is talking to your inner child about it. You know, how would you speak to a child who is going through something similar? Okay? And, you know, whatever your situation is, it might be hard to imagine a child in that position, but just think about it in terms of, you know, the want for that comfort. You know, if it's reaching for a substance or reaching for a person or reaching for an activity of some kind, you know. But what is driving that? It's typically the want for love. It's the want for comfort. It's the want to feel like you're in that warm mother's embrace, you know. And then that can be very hard when it can be an easy road to look toward the thing that gives you a very immediate relief. And that's a part of the work, is that it's not about immediate relief. It's about tolerating the energy and tolerating the feelings that arise when you abstain from doing the same old habitual thing. Okay, does that make sense? And I really hope that it does, because, you know, that's what it's all about, is just having to sit with that and hold that energy. Okay. For such a benevolent looking deck, this is quite an intense reading. Alrighty. Okay. So, Spirit, can you tell me more about the death energy, please? Yeah, this is about healing. This is about taking time, not just spending all this time in your bed and sleeping the day away, although that is a part of it. There's a lot of healing that needs to take place here, and we do heal best when we get a lot of rest, okay? But the other aspect of the Four of Swords is that there is an element of integration, meditation, understanding, and mindfulness around whatever it is that you are working with, okay? Whatever it is that you're working with, this would be a good example of the mindfulness piece, of slowing things down when the opportunity presents itself. And I will say this, your ability to slow things down and work with the energy that is presented to you in the time of a trigger, in the time of some sort of, you know, compulsion to reach for that thing that brings you more immediate relief. The wider the width of that bandwidth, as it were, your capacity to work with the energy in a healthier way, the way you want to, the way that this reading is saying that you've been thinking a lot about, is directly related to how you take care of yourself. You know, have you taken a shower today? Have you gotten enough sleep? Have you drank enough water? Have you been eating, you know, more nutrient-dense food? Have you gotten some exercise? Like real self-care, okay? Real self-care. And so that's another practical aspect of this work, is that when we take care of ourselves, then we widen our bandwidth and have more of a capacity to do then the emotional, mindful work around these things when they arise, okay? They're all related. It goes hand in hand, okay? So, Spirit, can you tell me more about the High Priestess, please? Page of Cups. Okay. So with the page, we got 2 pages. So this, to me, suggests that there is a very strong invitation here for you to get very much in touch with your childlike heart, okay? And in this work that you're going to be doing, guided by the High Priestess, you know, your intuition is absolutely nudging you that this is the kind of work that is needed at this time. And when you do this work, do so with a loving heart through the eyes of a child for yourself. This is very important work for you to reparent yourself around these things. You know, how would you talk to a child? Turn that loving care and compassion toward yourself. Cut yourself some slack around not having it all figured out, or whatever this devil energy is, you know. Take it and you know, use it in a way that you can nurture yourself through this challenge of facing it. Don't take the energy and then say to yourself, oh, see, you're doing this again. You'll never change. You're the blah, 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 blah. And speak all like that to yourself, because that's not in alignment with the Page of Cups energy, you know. And that's what this person is doing, you know. They're having a conversation with this, you know, little fun little fishy character in the cup. There is a lot of imagination and a lot of kind of wide-eyed, open-hearted fantasy type, like open possibility. Like, you know, you could even take another part of the healing energies, like, well, what do you want to create? You know, sometimes when we feel like we're starting over, we can say, oh gosh, I'm not where I should be. But then other times we can take that same experience and say, wow, I have nothing but wide open potential. Honestly, like, I'm starting over. What is it that I can do? You know, how is it that I want to show up this time around? You see the difference? Both are the same in the way of responding to the very same experience, but one is so much more kind of loving and exploratory and has a sense of wonder around it. You know, it's more open. It's more open. Okay. Okay, so let's look at so this is definitely a very beautiful, transformative message, I feel like, for whoever this is resonating for. I feel like I just get the sense that you have so much grounded dedication toward this goal. And even though you feel like you're in Page energy right now, your aim is right where it needs to be. I see somebody, I'm looking at somebody who is really at the precipice, at the doorstep, at the gateway of doing this deep soul work that is just so incredibly transformative, and that is absolutely necessary at this time and at this stage in your life. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to leave it there with the tarot portion, okay? And what I want to do now is pull a Spirit of the Animals card for you. Okay. Oops. Oh, well, that's too many. That's too many. I was trying to look at the time there, but Sea Turtle, protection. You are master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. Yeah, I like that. I really like that for this group. Okay, pile number 1, that is what I have for you. I really hope that this resonated on some level. And be sure to let me know in the comments how this worked for you, how you know, just any responses to it is just absolutely welcome. And thank you so much for all your likes and shares and subscribes. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye. Okay, pile number 2. You chose the little tiger's eye heart. This is your reading. Okay, I'd like to invite Spirit in at this time with so much gratitude and respectfully request a message for pile number 2 for their greatest and highest good. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, bottom of the deck energy, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So really focusing your time and energy on something like your craft or your work, any area of your life where you have a sense of mastery, okay? 7 of Pentacles. Keeper, the King of Wands, and the 4 of Swords. Okay. So there is something that you are investing your time and energy into, okay, pile number 2, and you have so much drive and so much confidence, and even you could very well be in a leadership role as well, okay? And this pursuit and this investment is very much like it's very important to you. You know, you feel very strongly about it, and it's very important to you, and you love it very much, and you are very dedicated to it, which is fantastic. Okay, and with the 7 of Pentacles, it's like it's enough to stand on its own for sure. However, you feel like something more could be brought up and out from it. Like you feel like it hasn't reached its full potential. And I get the sense that you're beginning to feel a bit tired. You know, you may be feeling like you're reaching kind of a burnout mode a little bit. Hence the invitation here with the 4 of Swords to recoup and rest and take refuge and retreat, like a little respite, okay? Getting recharged, a lot of re's at this time, okay? Excuse me. Okay. Spirit, can you tell me more, please, about the 7 of Pentacles? And in this deck, it's called boons. 7 of boons, and wands are called spells, and cups are called visions, and swords are called challenges. So with the 7 of Pentacles, we have the 7 of Wands. You know, so there could be a part of you that's feeling a little defensive when it comes to the level of growth that this endeavor has that you have seen in this endeavor. There could be a part of you that may be fearing that other folks are, you know, talking about, you know, how it's been going and all of that stuff. You could be feeling a little guarded, a little defensive. But the thing is that you're putting in the fight to see it through, right? And so the invitation here with this energy is to really pay attention to maybe some of your projections onto other people. You know, you see all these little cute little gnomes in front of the dragon, right? And the dragon, even though they're very powerful and they have all kinds of fire inside them, they could be feeling a bit scared, hence the defensive energy, right? But are these little gnomes wanting to poke at this dragon with their wands because they're curious? Are they wanting to poke at the dragon and because they are mad at the dragon and they're coming after the dragon? You know, it's kind of like we are not entirely sure what these little gnomes, what their intentions are and what kind of energy they're bringing to it. But despite that, the dragon is like, you know, standing up on the perch and has a little bit of smoke coming out their nose. So they're almost ready to roast these little dudes, right? But that's the thing. What are the intentions of the folks coming toward you that you're feeling defensive against? Okay, this actually could even be another invitation of reviewing your boundaries, reconsidering your boundaries, thinking about ways in which you can create healthier boundaries that preserve the dignity of yourself and others, okay? But what I'm looking at in pile number 2 is somebody who's very dedicated to their sense of mastery in their craft, and they are continuing to invest in it. It may not be looking as bountiful as they had always hoped at this time, and they may be getting a little bit, you know, maybe feeling like other people are judging them for it or something like that, okay? So Spirit, can you tell me more about this King of Wands? Yeah, 5 of Swords. There's a part of you that definitely wants to like win at all costs here. There's something about this, and I'm thinking that it's in response to this energy of like maybe others coming toward you, that you feel like you have to fight, maybe, or there's like strong words. You know, say if this is a boss here, right? This is just an example. You know, this boss comes in, has this big vision about something, and it's not really working out the way that he had hoped, although it can, you know, I mean, there's a way to make it work, and there's just a little bit of a reevaluation here in the approach, but all the while, it's like the employees can be kind of chit-chatting, and they know it, and so it's like this boss is beginning to feel like they want to start ruling with a stronger hand here. That's a story that I'm getting from these cards. So there's something about this where you're beginning to feel defensive, but then it's beginning to grow into some sort of kind of, you know, I want to say the words on guard, like when you're about to go into battle or fence somebody else. Okay, so Spirit, can you tell me more about the 4 of Swords? This is the Chariot. So this is you going in. This is you taking a step back and reevaluating your approach, okay? Because once you recharge, you're going to be getting in that chariot and you're going to be moving, you're continuing to move forward. And, you know, chariots are a success, okay? So I think that is also an invitation that's going to lead to your success and help you, you know, help you in your endeavor, is to take time to take breaks and recharge and rest, all right? And then because when you do that, then you won't burn yourself out and you're able to like reapproach the situation with a lot more vim and vigor to, you know, come at it in a different way, you know, with just as much passion and drive, but, you know, maybe doing it a little bit differently in order to see the results that you want. Okay. Spirit, can you tell me more about the 7 of Wands? Yeah, you may be feeling judged, like I mentioned earlier. I get the sense here that this is you, like, really kind of in a crossroads energy. This could be you being called out on something. All right? and that's okay. This is an invitation to take accountability. Okay? And I don't see where you've done wrong. It's nothing like that. It's more like, I think this is more about like taking accountability for your energy and how you do lead and how you do show up with others that you work with or others that you are engaging with on a particular project, or, you know, are people trying to help you and you're like, no, or, you know, whatever it is, there is some sort of when you go into this meditative space and kind of take a break and a time out for yourself, this is also a time when you are like in this reevaluation, you're really thinking a lot about how you need to change. What do you need to change? Right? And like, it's like you're hearing the call, though. You're definitely hearing the call. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going into respite mode. You wouldn't be, you know, having this energy come out in such a way where you're going to take this and use it to get back in that chariot and move forward on whatever this is for you. This is really good energy. This is very strong energy. This is that energy of someone learning something about themselves and really discovering how their approach may not have been working, even though they had so much like confidence and self-assuredness that this was the way. And so then coming to find like, well, maybe there are some folks that told you, hey, maybe what do you think about trying it this way? And you're like, rrr. And there was some defensiveness there, right? And there could have even been some arguments about it. But there are some things that some people may have said to you that you took to heart and you realize, well, you know, let me just think on it a little bit more. You know, is there something to be said for what these folks are observing? And, you know, what kind of relationship do I have with them? Like, should I be trusting what they're telling me? And, you know, what is this about? So, you know, I feel like the Council of Animals, which is the judgment in this deck, or you know what I mean, is you really allowing yourself to get in touch and embrace what other folks are telling you, okay? Or showing you. Communicating, you're hearing the call to make some shifts, okay? Let's see, can you tell me more about the Five of Swords, please, Spirit? Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. So this is about your legacy. This is about your bounty and your legacy, okay? How you come together with other people, how you show up and spend your time and energy. The Ten of Pentacles can also be, it's like, yes, there's success, there's stability, there's like this is a well-oiled machine and it's working. And it can also be overwhelming because that is a lot. Those are a lot of pentacles to tend to, you know, like all the practicalities of life. Okay, so, you know, you could be taking into consideration the different aspects, the different tangible aspects of your life. And then thinking about that in terms of, okay, well, how do I show up at work? How do I show up in my craft? How do I show up when I work with other people? How am I showing up with my family? You know? And make no mistake, this is not an invitation to get down on yourself by any means. This is taking it in information and really thinking about it and saying, well, this works great. This doesn't work so great. Let me work on those things. Okay? All right. Can we, Spirit, can you tell me more about the Chariot, please? So then we have a Page of Cups. So, which is great because, you know, then you can address yourself and like look at this process with a little bit more hope and wonder and playfulness. Okay? I also get the sense that an overarching theme in this is to not take yourself like way too seriously. You have a very good goal, whatever it is for you. There's something that you're definitely very dedicated to and you're wanting to see through and you're investing in it on all the things, and it's okay to relax a little bit. It's okay to have fun with it. I mean, this very well could be a situation where you're trying to make something, like live the dream and do something that you love, and then you come to find that you're getting further and further into the business side of things, and it's the joy that you had for it is beginning to kind of sap away a little bit, and then you're not left feeling with a lot of wide-eyed wonder. You're left feeling judged, you're left feeling judgmental, you're left feeling irritable, you know, and snappy and things like that. So, you know, this is an invitation for you to stay in touch with why you got involved in this in the first place. Okay? What was the initial inspiration for you? And given that the Page of Cups is here, I get the sense that this is coming from somewhere deep inside of your heart that has always been a dream of yours. Something very much connected to your children, if you have children, or your inner child. Something that definitely gives you joy. So yeah, I believe that that's the overall message for you, pile number 2. I'm going to leave it there for the tarot, and I'm going to pull you a Spirit of the Animals. Go ahead and leave in the comments what you think of this reading, how it resonated for you. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. And subscribing is completely free. I'm sure most of you know that. B, community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Nice. Nice. I love it when the little oracle card really does echo the sentiment of the entire reading here. So thank you so much, pile number 2. I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. We have for you okay, I'd like to invite Spirit in at this time with so much gratitude and respectfully request a message for pile number 3 for their greatest and highest good at this time. Please and thank you, Spirit. Okay, bottom of the deck energy, we have the High Priestess. Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Page of Wands. I've gotten a lot of pages in these piles. I get the sense that there are a lot of folks who are at beginner energy, starting over in some way, which would absolutely make sense given that we're, you know, we're coming out of Aries season. You know, we've entered into Taurus season, but, you know, Aries is like the beginning, right? In the spring, things are starting over. Okay, pile number 3. So there's something that you are moving toward. Your intuition has been nudging you in this direction for quite some time. You do have a lot of sense of, like, you know, wonder for it and excitement and enthusiasm, and you're like, I can do this, I'm doing it. And then with the Knight of Pentacles, there's a little bit of a holdup. You know, it's like, yeah, you got all this passion and drive, and that's coming from a very youthful place inside of you, you know, maybe more the more imaginative side of you. And with the Chariot, you're all about it. And I get the sense that you're, with the intuition having been nudging you for quite some time, it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then there's a little bit, there's hesitancy here, or, you know, maybe like maybe analysis paralysis, or overly circumspect about any of the obstacles that may arise in this forward movement here for you, and that might hold you back, but we'll definitely see more. Okay, Spirit, can you tell me more about the Knight of Pentacles, please? Ah, okay. Okay. Pile number 3, are you afraid that your cup might not be accepted? Your slow-moving energy is the Ace of Cups is clarifying that. So I think that might be where some of the hesitancy is. This is a matter of the heart. To step forward and offer this cup is a very overwhelming and emotional experience. And it does leave you open, and that openness can be quite scary. Okay? You do have a lot of passion and drive for this, and you want to trust your intuition and move forward, but then there's the vulnerability piece is tough to overcome, hence the delay here. And it's not that the Knight of Coins is not planning on moving forward, it's just they're doing it in such a slow manner that they might forget that their true nature is to move, is to take action. Okay? Spirit, can you tell me more about the Chariot, please? Oh. So perhaps there are things that you feel like you need to kind of clean up first before you move forward with your Ace of Cups. Perhaps there's something, maybe you feel like hesitant to offer the Ace because there could be something about the other person that you're noticing as well. Maybe you're getting some red flags, and there's a part of you that really wants to bust through those red flags, and then there's another part of you that's telling you, well, you know, you gotta hold back, or maybe step back and wait and see. There's something about this. Okay. Spirit, can you tell me more about the Page of Wands, please? Death card. Irrevocable change. Something that you want to move on, but a holding back due to vulnerability and perhaps some sort of, you know, whatever kind of unhealthy dynamic you might see, either in yourself or in another person. Maybe there's a part of you that feels like you need to put an end to something before you can move forward in the swift Page of Wands kind of enthusiastic way. There's also another aspect that, you know that if this is to be successful with the Chariot, that either something unhealthy would have to come to an end, right? And maybe you're not ready to let that go, whatever it is. Could be drinking, drugs, philandering, gambling, fear, overeating, undereating, whatever, any kind of thing. Could be like death to fear in order to move forward with this enthusiasm as well, right? But that would be a pretty strong sense of fear. When the fear is attached to the vulnerability, maybe there's a part of you that feels like, you know, because the death is clarifying the page, maybe there's a part of you that's like, well, this naivete inside of me needs to be over. You know, that could be a part of you talking yourself out of whatever this is, moving forward on whatever this is, because the devil is clarifying the forward-moving energy. There's a part of you that if you read it like that, that's you standing in your own way. You know, you can't just show up like some kiddo, you know, and I'm not telling you that, I'm just saying that. I'm kind of just like reflecting the inner thoughts of what those could sound like. Yeah. Spirit, can you tell me more about the Ace of Cups, please? King of Wands. Yeah, you're very attracted to this person. Very passionate. There's so much confidence here with them, and it can be quite intimidating. And they have a steady kind of confidence, you know, they kind of have, maybe they're in some sort of leadership role with you. And that's part of the hesitancy as well. But make no mistake, you got the hots for this person. Haha, which is fabulous. Okay. Spirit, can you tell me more about the devil, please? King of Cups. Huh. This makes me wonder if you feel like you don't have what it takes, that on an emotional level, you may feel like you're too immature to step to this King of Wands. However, you know, that there could be fear around your own capacity to show up embodying the King of Cups energy. Okay? That's one way to read this. There could be a fear for you about what that would mean for you to really move on this Ace of Cups, offer it. There's fear of rejection there. But what about fear of acceptance? What if that offer, what if that cup is accepted? Then what? Then you might have to, does that mean you have to really like work hard to like get this emotional maturity piece on lock? It could be a fear of opening up your heart, a fear of being that vulnerable, because you know that when you are going to offer your cup to this King of Wands, that, or I mean, take it as it resonates, right? Like you could identify more with the King of Wands and the King of Cups as your person. Like, read it as it goes, but there could be a fear of acceptance too, and also saying like, I gotta bring my A game to this person. You know, I gotta bring my A game. Am I on my A game? Right? Spirit, can you tell me about the Death card, please? Two of Cups. Now the ace isn't just brand new. The ace can also be a renewal. So I would wonder if you already had an experience with this person and you're wanting to move forward in offering a renewed ace of cups. Excuse me. Yeah, that's what it's looking like here, because with the Two of Cups clarifying the death energy, it'd be like, well, maybe this was over and done with, or that was the thought or the message or the experience at one point. I mean, we are still in Mercury retrograde, so this very well could be for those pile number 3s out there that have a former lover coming back, or maybe you're feeling pulled to go back and try to rekindle a relationship. Wow. So yeah, with all these energies here, it's like that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing someone who is getting an intuitive nudge, you know, like a spiritual nudge to move forward and offer their cup, whether it's brand new or renewed. You know, that can be different for everybody, but there is hesitancy here. There is a strong drive. There is a strong drive and want and desire to move forward. And then there is some fear holding you back. And the fear can be around your own personal energy on any of those things that I named off, right? Like, well, what is it going to look like if I'm rejected? Well, then what is it going to look like if I'm accepted? Like, you know, going back and forth on that, you know, and then even going like, well, how did this end a long time ago? If that is what this is about, and this is a renewed ace, then, you know, can you overcome that? And these energies would suggest yes, because I would imagine that maybe you were more in an immature energy when this came to an end. You can read it that way, that now you know that you got to bring your A game in order to make repair, to really offer this renewed ace for it to be successful. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pull Two of Swords. Yeah, there's the indecision. Two of Coins at the bottom. You had Two of Swords at the top and Two of Coins at the bottom. Three of Cups. Okay, so this would suggest that if you are going to move forward, okay, you've been going back and forth on it. If you are going to move forward, what the Three of Cups is a very basic level of engagement. It's goodwill, it's good tidings, and it's a lighthearted approach. So that's the advice. You know, when you come in and you're trying to reconnect, or even if this is something new and you're trying to connect with this person in a new way, like you want to take it from friends to romance, or whatever that case is, like this is suggesting to do so. Like it is safe to do so with regard to like inviting them out for a cup of coffee, or maybe going out, if you know, for some drinks with a couple of other friends there, you know, some sort of way in which to get your foot in the door to maybe spark a conversation. And you know, you're not going to come straight out of the gate, if this is a past love, to come straight out of the gate with some kind of like grand gesture and overture, right? Because that could be very destabilizing and disorienting if this is a renewed ace. So that's where I'm going to leave it for the tarot portion. But I think that Spirit is nudging you in this direction to offer your cup. You do have a lot of apprehension around it, okay, pile number 3, but I get the sense that that apprehension is definitely connected to something that is self-imposed. Whether you don't believe that you have what it takes to do that, or any number of things, you know, any number of things. But typically with the devil, it's some sort of fear. It's some sort of fear. And you know, you miss 100% of the chances you don't take, okay? So there's that. So let's see what Spirit of the Animals has to say. Frog, prosperity. Let go of the past and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy. Abundance and good fortune await you. There you go. Okay, thank you so much, pile number 3. I really appreciate you. Thank you for all of your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. And let me know how this resonated for you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.